You'll never be 100% in love with what you do. There's always parts of it you won't like, but you can keep redesigning until you come up to something close to your thing. Just bear that in mind and enjoy. You don't have to wait until you reach financial independence to start enjoying your life. You can do that much earlier and start living a life that you love and that's true to you. Welcome to Freedom Before FI. Using FIRE and life design techniques, we help you create freedom on your way to FI instead of waiting until you're retired to do the things that light you up. I'm your host Greg, a FIRE movement and life design enthusiast. If you're itching to get freedom now, then let's do this. Hello there and a warm welcome to the show. So today is all about purpose. Although to be honest, I've got a bit of a problem with the word purpose. You see, we attach a lot of significance to the word and we end up putting so much pressure on ourselves to attain it. You see, I like simple things and I'd like to simplify it a bit to something more like, what would you love to do with your time? Or, what would you love to do in your spare time outside of work that would light you up and mean a lot to you? Because it could be something we do full time, or it could just be like a side passion project or something. Also, it doesn't have to be something significant or really big. It could just be something simple and something day to day. One thing to note is that if we do find something we love, it doesn't mean that that's it for the rest of our lives. As humans, obviously, we grow and we evolve over time, therefore our passions and our preferences change. We can then pivot to other activities that suits us at certain times of our lives. Bill Burnett, one of the authors of the book Designing Your Life, one of my favourite books by the way, said something along the lines of, life is not about results, it's a process. End of quote. It's like we're always reiterating. We keep trying things out until we find something we enjoy. We might then grow out of that and then find something else. So it's kind of fluid. Anyway, to help you with finding your purpose, or at least to get closer to it, I've put together a quick free guide on our website. It's a worksheet that you can go through over a weekend, for example. So today, I'll be giving you a quick overview of the worksheet with some sample exercises. Now, if you want, you can actually pause it here, quickly download the worksheet from the website, freedombeforefire.com, under free guides, and then click on the Find Your Purpose worksheet. And then you could just follow along on this episode. Alright, so let's take a closer look at this worksheet. So the worksheet is split into 10 sections. Each section is based on an aspect that makes up your life. In each of the sections, there's some powerful questions to help you uncover aspects about yourself. So I feel that you need to get connected with who you are first. That way, finding your thing, in air quotes, becomes so much easier. It's kind of like a metal detector. If you know yourself well, it will lead you to finding things you're attracted to. The opposite is like using a metal detector to find like an expensive fabric or something. Even if it's like super valuable, it still won't work for you because you're attracted to metal and not that fabric. So it might look good, but it won't work for you. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Alright, so here are the headings for those 10 sections. Number 1, your future life vision. Number 2, your life right now. Number 3, what you love to do. Number 4 is topics that you love. Number 5 is things you don't like. Number 6 is your achievements. Number 7 is your ideal work environment. Number 8 is a just for fun exercise, and I'll explain that more in a bit. Number 9 is recurring themes. And then number 10 is ideation and identification. Okay, so in each of the sections, there are several questions, as I mentioned. So by the time you get to section 9, you can collate all your answers and start looking at recurring themes. These themes will help you generate some ideas of your purpose or your next thing. So what I'll do today is go through each section and share just one question from each. Although they have multiple questions, I'm just going to share just the one question, just to give you an idea. If you want to see all the questions, you can grab the free PDF, as I mentioned earlier, on the website. Okay, let's start with section number 1. So section number 1 is your future life vision, as you need to know your overall target or where you want to get to. Okay, so there's 4 questions in this section. And the sample question is, describe your ideal future life in as much detail as you can. This is actually a bit of a visualization exercise. What you can do is imagine this day, say 5 years from now. So whatever day it is today, but 5 years into the future, imagine you're in your ideal life, and what you need to do is just describe it. How does it feel? Where are you? What's around you? Who's around you? What are you doing for work? All right, so section 2 is your life right now, as we need to understand what specific issue or issues we need to work on. So the sample question in this one is, what areas of your life are you not happy about at the moment? All right, so section 3 is what you love to do, because you have to be energized with your purpose. It has to make you come alive. This actually has 6 questions, but the sample question here is, what things do you love to do on the weekends or in your spare time? Because obviously our spare time is quite precious to us, and the things we do in that give us a hint of what we enjoy doing. Okay, so section 4 is topics you love. So other than the task itself, you obviously need to have an interest in the subject matter, topic, or industry your thing will be in. So for example, let's say you love graphic design, but you're a vegan. So would you be happy designing menus for like burger joints or a hot dog stand, for example? Probably not, right? So anyway, the sample question in this one is, what subjects and industries do you like to read, watch, or listen to? Chances are, if you consume this topic in your spare time, you're really interested in it as well. All right, so section 5 is things you don't like. This is equally as important as knowing what you do like. So then your radar will be like scanning for things that you don't like as well. So for example, you might see a voluntary position or work opportunity that you might like. Then when you look at the job description, 30 to 40% of the work involves things that you don't really like doing. So obviously you can just dismiss that and just move on. So one of the sample questions in this section is, list some activities or work you just can't stand doing. So for example, you might not like being in sales, or you don't like working with numbers, or you don't like working with people, or you don't like working with social media. Just list them all out so it's really clear to you. Section 6 is your achievements. Now this one's pretty straightforward and quite self-explanatory, but it's basically looking at all your best achievements in your life so far. All right, let's move over to section 7. So section 7 is your ideal work environment. So this one is really important as well. It's a mixed bag of questions to help you understand what you'd like to be surrounded by in your ideal new chapter. So things like your physical environment, the people around you, the people that you serve. So an example question here is, do you prefer working alone, in a team, or a mix of both? All right, so section 8, one of my favorite sections, is a just for fun exercise. So I'm not going to spoil this one. As the name of the section, this is just a fun little exercise to get the creative juices flowing on your potential purpose. Okay, so the first 8 sections are questions that make up the ingredients of your purpose. We now need to synthesize, i.e. to combine a number of things into a coherent whole. All right, let's go to the last 2 sections. So section 9 is looking at recurring themes. The main thing to do here is to review all your answers and point out any recurring themes or things that your gut just says, oh, I really like that one, or that would be interesting. And then the last section is section 10, and it's called ideation and identification. Now this last section is really fun as well, because this is when you can be a kid again and just start to dream without any barriers. This is where you'd come up with ideas of what your next thing would be based on all of the recurring themes. So there's 5 exercises in here, including a little scoring activity that would help you narrow down some ideas you can explore. All right, so there you have it. That's a quick whistle-stop tour of the Find Your Purpose worksheet. Again, you could grab it free from our website, freedombeforefire.com, under free guides, and the link is also in the show notes. Hopefully that's given you some wayfinding, or at least given you some directions to the general area of your purpose, or that thing you really want to do next. Before I go, I just want to read something I wrote in the paragraph of the worksheet. You'll never be 100% in love with what you do. There's always parts of it you won't like, but you can keep redesigning until you come up to something close to your thing. Just bear that in mind and enjoy. Thank you for spending your time with us today. If you need more help, you can check out our free guides and services on our website, freedombeforephi.com. If you have a burning question or just want to chat, don't hesitate to drop me an email at greg@freedombeforephi.com. If you found the show useful and want to be notified of future episodes, you can click follow on Spotify, Apple, or the app you're currently using right now. If you think the episode will help a friend or a colleague, feel free to share it with them. And lastly, if you learned just one good thing that will help you in your journey and you want to help us out, please do leave a 5-star rating on your podcast player app. That would help us out loads. Okay, that wraps up the episode. Have an awesome week. And as always, practice gratitude, live life by your design, and do things that make you smile. You got this.